Hello everyone, welcome to Intellify. The topic that we are going to study today is development from chapter Plant Growth and Development from class 11th Biology. What is development? It is a process that includes a series of changes that an organism goes through during its life cycle, that is, from generation of the very beginning or germination till senescence. Since we are talking about plants, we don't say from the birth, we say from the process of germination, which in itself indicates their beginning, till senescence. So we already know development is growth plus differentiation. It is a process that includes a series of changes that an organism goes through during its life cycle, that is from germination till senescence. Here is a sequence of the development process in plant cell. Since the chapter talks about plant growth and development, let's study what is the sequence of the development process which occurs in case of the plant cells. In plant cells, you can see that there's a pause which is called as the death. This process of death, which has been given by a pause, generally occurs when cell becomes mature and this mature cell undergoes the process of senescence. Before this, we already know we have meristematic cells which provide an indefinite growth to the plants by the process of cell division and lead to plasmatic growth. After this particular cell formation, the process of differentiation provides structurally and functionally committed function to that particular cell. There comes the function of birth, elongation or expansion, maturation. Cells become mature, they undergo the process of senescence, and ultimately come the process of death. Now, sequence of the development process in plant cell. What is the sequence that is being followed? In broad terms, development is the sum total of both growth and differentiation in plants. We already know this. Growth, which can be taught about or termed in topic of the process of increase in the cell mass, increase in the cell number. Differentiation, which can be talked of in terms of a commitment to one particular structure and function. The developmental process of growth and differentiation is controlled by several intrinsic as well as extrinsic factors. Now, what all intrinsic factors are included? It can include both intracellular, within the cell, for example, genetics, or intercellular factors between the cells, such as the plant growth regulators. Extrinsic factor includes light, temperature, water, oxygen, nutrition. All the factors which are not working within the body but are affecting the body of the plant, like the water, temperature, oxygen, nutrition, all will be counted under the extrinsic factors. What is plasticity? So if you go with NCERT, in the very process that we are discussing now, there's a very important topic of plasticity, as generally the definition for it is asked in the exams. It refers to phenomena in which plants follow different pathways in response to environment or phases of life, forming different kinds of structures. A very important example of this phenomena where plants follow different pathways in response to different environmental agents is heterophyly, the phenomena in plants by which more than two types of leaves occur on the same plant. So you might have generally in your lower classes done this activity of recognizing a plant by looking at its leaves. So generally, when you talk about plasticity, we always refer plasticity to something wherein we say that it is not very definite. So plasticity herein, as an example of heterophyly, says that one single plant is going to have leaves of two different types. For example, heterophyly can be seen in case of cotton, coriander, larkspur. In such plants, the leaves of the juvenile plant are different in shape from those in the mature plants. When they are juvenile, when they are younger, they are going to have certain different kind of leaves, and the mature plants, they are going to have certain different types of leaves. On the other hand, the difference in the shapes of leaves produced in air and those produced in the water in buttercup also represent the heterophilous development due to the environment. Another example is when they are in the air, what kind of development of the leaf shape occurs, and when they are in water, it differs. This phenomena of heterophyly is an example of plasticity. So here you can see the heterophyly, what is happening in larkspur in case of juvenile and in adult. And in buttercup, what is happening in the air, the terrestrial form, and the water or the aquatic habitat. The very clear differences are visible. This indicates heterophily, which is a very common example of plasticity, which is being discussed as a not being definite, but having different kind of pathways running for different kind of environmental agents or signals that the plant is accepting or being exposed to. So let's summarize the topic that we have just studied. The cells derived from the root apical and shoot apical meristems and cambium differentiate and mature to form specific functions, that is differentiation. During differentiation, cells undergo few to major structural changes and also develop a very strong elastic lignocellulosic secondary walls to carry water to long distances. During dedifferentiation, the living differentiated cells that have lost the capacity to divide can regain the capacity of division under certain conditions and undergo the process of dedifferentiation. Then it has a very common example of interfascicular cambium and cork cambium. If you go to my last PPT, with the same channel, you can see the topic of my PPT being differentiation, dedifferentiation and redifferentiation. The slide has been very much taken from that PPT, wherein I have explained you the complete processes that are associated. Before that, there's also PPT for growth, and all these PPTs together now conclude to this PPT of development. Hence, this slide has been included. All the processes wherein increase in cell mass, cell division, then differentiation, then certain kind of redifferentiation, dedifferentiation, all together will form the process of development. And also one new thing that we studied herein is plasticity. That is more than one pathway because of different signals from the environment. And the very good example is heterophily. We have studied how different shapes of leaves